Your Prime Minister says, no talking did not help, does not help. We will talk and we will not
no other talking has
people
helped
who
either.
want to. We don't want people who want to sabotage relations between us. We don't want them to control
I'm
the
sorry,
agenda.
we are not
Tell this
sabotaging.
Air
You look at
Marshal.
yourself. You
Why?
look at yourself. Your whole military
No, you see, one second. Zafar Ileli, you are getting unnecessarily worked up. No, 1 second. You see, please understand Zafar Ileli, and I go to Mr. Parthasarathy now. No nation can speak to half a nation. No, when you have talks between countries, you can't have one nation, which is India, speaking to half a nation, which is Nawaz Sharif, because the other half of the nation is General Kiani. You don't expect, you first sort out your own problems.
Correct.
We don't expect our Prime Minister to speak to somebody who governs half his country. Mr. Parthasarathy, the reason I raised this whole question about these various alliances and groups today was to just pinpoint to one issue, which was the Pakistani promise to act against terror, fundamental to a good relationship with Pakistan. In the broader context of these proposed talks in New York, Mr. Parthasarathy, what is the right Indian response in your view? Then we'll go back to Mr. Zafar Ileli and Javed Hussain.
No, I think let us be very clear. Since 2003, and that was the time when General Musharraf was ruling, we have had a ceasefire in Jammu and Kashmir, which has held. Now, this has come under strain, and it has come under strain by people crossing the line of control, which is a new phenomenon. This did not exist in the last days of Musharraf. And in fact, it's picked up after Nawaz Sharif became Prime Minister. Now, Arunabh, I think this is also a program for the people of India. So let me give a background on Nawaz Sharif. Nawaz Sharif is I've known him since 1982, incidentally. Now, Nawaz Sharif, in his first tenure as Prime Minister, was responsible for the Mumbai bomb blasts using his hand-picked DG ISI Lieutenant General Javed Nasir. This is not said by me, this is documented by the Pakistanis and the Americans. And his president came close to sacking him, Ghulam Ishaq Khan, but pulled back, and then both were thrown out, and out went Nawaz. Nawaz returns in 1997. When he returns in 1997, the Deobandi groups, which you have spoken about, are replaced by the Ahle Hadith groups led by the Lashkar-e-Taiba. Now, the Nawaz Sharif's family, ranging from the days of Mian Muhammad Sharif, have 2 generations of relations with Hafiz Muhammad Saeed, which are very personal. When I was High Commissioner, Nawaz actually sent the Governor of Sindh and his Information Minister, Mushahid Hussain, to go and pay their respects to Hafiz Muhammad Saeed. That was the respect in which Nawaz held him. Around the same time, he also sent his DG ISI to Kabul to ask Mullah Rabbani for 20 to 30,000 Taliban volunteers for Jammu and Kashmir. This is recorded not by me. It is recorded by a distinguished Pakistan author, Shuja Nawaz, on the basis of interviews with General Ziauddin. Now, he comes back. What does he do? His brother starts funding the Jamaat-ud Dawa as Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. That is public information from Punjab government budget. Then Hafiz Muhammad Saeed on Eid Day. Now, Eid, to my mind, is a festival of rejoicing, where you don't declare enemies. This man is given the Gaddafi Stadium to rave and rant about jihad against India. Then he repeats that in Islamabad. Now, I wanted to tell the Brigadier that, look, we have thermal imaging of these guys infiltrating across. So we are not talking of somebody whom, as Zafar said, we had great control over. You cannot control over the entire LOC. A large portion of it, yes. Thermal imagery makes things better. So we know they have been coming across since the beginning of September. These are largely Lashkar cadres. Lastly, I've just returned from Afghanistan. When I was there, our consulate in Jalalabad was attacked and they were gunned down. We had intelligence information in advance. And the Afghans told us very clearly they were Punjabis from the Lashkar-e-Taiba who had tied up with the Haqqani network and come across. So, we are facing this situation after Sharif came. I'm not saying don't talk to him, don't meet him. But I think the process of engagement has to be much more carefully calibrated than it is at the present moment. And certainly, we should be aware that after this gentleman has become Prime Minister, and I'm sure Zafar Hilali will agree with me, that the links that his party has with dubious groups like the Lashkar-e
I'm sure he will.
including ministers like Sanaullah, are disturbing.
I'm sure he will.
What I'm saying is, you're dealing with a qualitatively new situation, and I think the Prime Minister is going to land himself in trouble if he was, because we'll have to wait and see what Nawaz Sharif has to say in the UN General Assembly.
No, that's, you know, he's going to
So
make
I'm
the
just
he's
quoting facts.
going
I
to
don't
make
want
the
to
same
get
points.
into
The
an
last
argument
point
of
here
who's
tonight to the
right,
guests from
who's wrong.
Pakistan is this:
These are facts
that I would have
put out
presumed,
by Pakistanis,
I
not
would
by
have
me.
presumed, I would have presumed, Zafar Ileli, that with this kind of a backdrop, the last thing that Nawaz Sharif would have done is start sponsoring Hafiz Saeed the moment he comes back into power. Instead, the governments give crores of rupees in separate budgets to the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, which actually reaffirms the point Mr. Parthasarathi has said, that this umbilical cord link between the terror groups and your present Prime Minister.
Let me just reply to what Mr. Parthasarathi has said. At least he was logical in his arguments. Let me say that we as a nation, as a smaller nation, finding a bigger nation in hostility to us, adopted at one time the theory of asymmetrical warfare. That means that you deal with a much larger enemy, a much stronger enemy, in a way which is different. You just don't go up front and start fighting.
No, explain it,
Because
terrorism.
The chances
so you're admitting.
you will.
You are admitting.
No, just hang on.
No, are you making
do
an
you admit
admission
you
on
committed
national
terrorism
Indian
in
television?
1990? You have said you sent people across the border to kill. Now, for God's sake, let me finish.
So you are admitting
now
therefore
what
today.
I'm saying is, what I'm saying is,
So are you making
that
an
what
admission?
I'm saying is, asymmetrical warfare is a theory of warfare,
Sir, please.
which we have not.
General
We
Bakshi.
have no longer pursued.
General Bakshi,
We have come to the conclusion that these Lashkars
have
and
you just
Jaishes
made the biggest admission?
an agenda which is very different
have you
from
just
ours,
made- have you-
and it is inimical.
Sir,
It
have
is
you-
inimical to us.
Sir, the US embassy
inimical
cables.
to us.
Sir, the US
So
embassy.
consequently,
So US embassy cables very clearly mentioned. I'll be factual with you tonight, sir, since you like factual arguments. It said we assess that the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Lashkar-e-Toiba associated terrorists will continue to use alliances in order to circumvent restrictions on their movement and operations. So far, fundamentally, when the US embassy cables came out,
please understand, one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. Let's not go into
you are
these
saying
terms.
tonight, General Bakshi and
what the
Air Marshal
Americans do,
Barbara.
the Americans, everybody is the terrorist who
I think this is
criticizes
an admission.
Israel. So please, let's not go
What
into
you
all
are
of
making
that.
tonight is an admission on television that we use terrorism as a strategy. General Bakshi. Yes, General Bakshi, I think it's a big admission.
You know, I would like to remind Mr. Zafar Ilali that the UN General Assembly has stated that no cause in the world justifies the use of terrorism as a tactic. This is precisely what they have been doing, using non-state
And that's why, and Dutchies have been observing that. That's why they are funding Al-Qaeda in Syria.
Then that's why you cannot say that's why
very naive.
No, when you admit on national Indian television,
count for nothing.
when you
tell me,
gentlemen, 1 minute. When you admit on national Indian television, you can call it asymmetric warfare or by any other name. All I'm saying is, sir, take back every word you used so far, as in your government used so far. Take back everything, including all the rubbish that Zardari wrote in the New York Times in December 2008, where, after the 26/11 attacks, where he said, we are all victims of terrorism. Because you have just said with your admission tonight that you are on the other side. You are with the terrorists. You can call it asymmetric warfare. You are with the terrorists. Air Marshal Barbara responding after that, Javed Hussain. Air Marshal Barbara. Air Marshal Barbara.
Biggest hoaxes that we've ever.
Air Marshal Barbara.
Mr. Javed Hussain and Ambassador Zafar Hilali, when you breed snakes in your house, someday the snakes will come back and bite you. Please remember, that is what is exactly happening to you. Your home-bred snakes are now coming back to you. I wish you all the best there.
Correct.
And I think a message for our nation.
The Brigadier Javed Hussain responding now to the emotion.
Diplomacy.
Brigadier Hussain.
Post-2611 has not paid any dividend.
Brigadier Hussain.
It is time that we are not called a soft state anymore and we take action because of the fact that they only understand.
So, you know, Brigadier Hussain,
they will never live up to their words on anything.
Today, Salman, your Pakistan High Commission Brigadier Hussain gave us press statement. They said, quote unquote, terrorism is a pernicious evil. Pakistan has been its foremost victim. We are totally committed to leaving no stone unturned to eliminate the specter of terrorist violence from our society and our region. This whole theory of so-called asymmetric warfare that Zafar Ilali admits to turns that statement around.
It is
sad. Brigadier Hussain. Are you going to go back on what you said, Zafar Ilali?
Don't take things out of context. Whatever the brigadier, whoever it is, who said something in 2013, I am trying to tell you that it is a normal military warfare strategy that when you are faced with a bigger enemy, you use different tactics. This tactic was one that we used, and when it was no longer required, it was discarded.
The context is of Hafiz Saeed promising full-scale jihad on India. Brigadier Javed Hussain is responding. The Brigadier's turn.
Yeah, let me come in.
Go ahead, sir.
You see, yeah, you are missing the point. The point is, it is very sad to see the second largest army in the world feeling helpless against a handful of freedom fighters.
Oh, please. You know,
Javed Saab, I will just put you up on the fact. Javed Saab, I just put you up on the fact. At any point in time, there used to be 3,000 to 4,000 terrorists sent by the ISI every year. They are down to 200. Most of them are trying to save their lives. Now, the only frustration, if any, that we might feel is the way we are being held back. I find
it fascinating, Mr. Parthasarathi. Okay.
You'll find it even more fascinating if you let me speak.
So I find it fascinating you are all admitting to supporting terrorism on national television.
Let me make it more fascinating.
Like your army chief.
1 minute.
Like your army chief did it in 1990.
1 minute.
Come on.
Someone just mentioned.
That's what he said.
2,000 to 3,000 fighters. Okay. Do you know that in occupied Kashmir, the Indian army enjoys a superiority of 100 soldiers to 1 gorilla?
Sir, the only occupied Kashmir I know.
And now you want to sit down on your haunches, your arms folded, and you keep blaming Pakistan.
The only occupied Kashmir I know.
How is it?
Which is illegally in parts of your custody. That's the only occupied Kashmir I know, is also the occupied Kashmir with the worst human rights record. Let's not go there. Mr. Parthasarathi, your thoughts on this theory of asymmetric warfare? Mr. Parthasarathi, this whole theory of asymmetric warfare, which in my view amounts to a fairly candid admission tonight on TV.
No, Brigadier Hussain is a very distinguished special forces officer, and he knows better than most when asymmetric warfare is there. Conventional armies may have 100 to 1 superiority, but people manage. No, the issue is not that. The issue is, Brigadier, and I think Mr. Hilali will agree with me, that your nurturing of these extremist Salafi-oriented groups, which have international links in Afghanistan, in Chechnya, one has not done Pakistan any good. You spoke of the Pakistani military preparing to launch operations against the Tehreek-e-Taliban. For God's sake, who armed them? They were armed by the Pakistan army for you to secure strategic depth, as you called it, in Afghanistan. You know, anyone here wants a stable, peaceful neighborhood. But I'm afraid, you know, there's something as it was, I think, the American ambassador who said in Pakistan, when Osama bin Laden was captured and things blew up, that when you keep vipers in your backyard, they're someday going to turn around.
Gentlemen,
and that's what the Tehreek-e-Taliban is doing.
Yep, I said so.
Well, that's...
Now, really, you will have to ask yourself, you may cause us some harm, we'll take it. We've got 1.2 billion
You see,
people.
the point is this.
But you
The
are
point is
facing an
this.
armed insurrection being undertaken by people whom you armed and trained to fight in Afghanistan, and Zafar Hilali will admit are involved in horrible sectarian killings, closing down Ahmadiyya mosques. And these are people, this is the problem, you should never have touched them just to harm us.
Well, I
Now,
think...
or get-
I think, you know, we... This is...
Arnab, can I
just
get
say two
No,
things
no,
on
no,
that.
no.
All I'm saying is,
Arnab, can I-
These people-
let's move away from this, and let's hope that Mr. Nawaz Sharif, instead of talking big, delivers by
In
putting
the
Hafiz
meantime,
Mohammad Saeed at
in
least
the
to
meantime,
start
while
with
Nawaz
in
Sharif
place.
does not deliver, while the Pakistani generals go through their insecurity and Indians continue to die, is there any need for talks? Any need for talks in New York? That question is to our viewers. Thank you very much to our panelists for joining us on debate number 2 on the News Hour tonight.